Hello Habit Makers, and good evening to you from the Habit Maker Mama Kitchen. We are going to be giving you a little bit of information about vitamins and why you want to be using them. One important thing to remember is that you can find most vitamins and minerals naturally in the foods that you eat every day, as long as you incorporate a nice variety of colorful whole foods that we'll tell you a little bit more about in this video today. I'd like to introduce to you my sister, who we have seen previously on our videos, and she's going to talk to you about the foods that we can incorporate into our diet.
Hey Habit Makers, glad to be back. I came today because I wanted to talk about a little recipe that I put together that encompasses everything, mostly everything that would be in a multivitamin. So today we're going to be making a Greek quinoa salad.
Ooh, that sounds good.
Yeah, with some spinach and
Are we
cucumbers.
having that for dinner tonight?
Yes.
Are you making me dinner?
Mm-hmm.
Yes! Thank goodness.
Pretty much one of the main first ingredients is quinoa. So that's a pretty easy thing to batch cook.
And quinoa is a grain. It's a whole grain. You can find this in the grocery store, in usually like the rice aisle is where you'll locate it.
So that's an easy thing to meal prep and kind of get it ready for the week. Not only is it good in a salad, but it's good as a side dish, very similar to rice. You could have that with rice and chicken, that kind of idea. But anyway, so this is pretty much the base for this salad. So the main vitamins in quinoa are the B1, B2, B6, and C. Spinach, and you only kind of need about a quarter cup of the spinach. And alright, so spinach is very good for iron, which is super good for your blood.
And Popeye.
Yeah. Chicken, which has a lot of protein in it. And then for any vegetarian listeners out there, I also included some chickpeas because that also is packed with protein.
You guys, chickpeas roasted, I don't know if you've tried them, but seriously, it's a thing. It's a new thing. I haven't had it before, so we're gonna give you the recipe for these specifically because it's bomb.com.
Yeah, so I wanted to go over all the ingredients first and kind of why I selected all of them, and then we can go into how I make them actually taste good. Perfect. Some of the other vegetables in there, you got some bell peppers, some cucumbers, some green onions, and some pretty light dressing. That one, I pretty much just did a basic balsamic vinaigrette with a little bit of lemon in there, so that one's pretty simple.
So not a mayonnaise base, so it's pretty low on the...
I don't really like those kind of very heavy dairy style dressings.
It kind of negates the whole point of your salad.
Yeah.
So it sounds like then that's a pretty good rainbow. A lot of different colors, variety as far as what comes in that bowl. So that should be a pretty balanced bowl.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
Yeah, and that could even be, if you don't really like the salad aspect of it, if you don't like chicken or quinoa, like warm things in your salad, you could even just divvy that up in like small portions. Or if your kids are big
you would
eaters,
divvy the quinoa
on a little 3 plate.
Sure.
You could put like in one of the triangles the quinoa, one little triangle of chicken, and one little triangle of vegetables.
So this is also a kid-friendly meal.
Yes. Except for probably not the chickpeas, since that's a choking hazard, right?
Yeah, we definitely want to check that. Maybe you could just cut them in half.
Yeah.
Good call. Perfect.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Cool.
Yeah.
We like that.
Talking about the recipe itself, preheat the oven to 425 and you're going to cook the chicken and the chickpeas together for 25 minutes. As for the chicken, what I did, I just bought some pre-chicken breast strips, but you can just do a basic chicken breast and then cut that up into smaller pieces. And either you can cook that on the stove or in the oven. I chose the oven just because a big sheet pan is a lot easier to deal with, especially if you have kids, than trying to constantly pay attention to the stove. As for the spices for the chicken, all I did was salt, pepper, garlic powder, onion powder, and then the chickpeas, it's the same. It's the salt, pepper, garlic powder, onion powder, but then you also add some smoked paprika, and that gives that kind of like smoky, nutty flavor, kind of as if you were having a crouton or like a French fry. As for the vegetables, they're pretty much, you're just chopping them up. It's the cucumber, the bell pepper,
And kind of diced, the sort of small
yeah,
size.
like it's a salad, so you want it bite size. And that one, so again, you can batch cook that early in the week. You can do that at night, just chop up some vegetables and have that on hand, so you can just throw it into any salad really.
But they are served raw. They're not cooked in your salad.
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, especially for like cucumbers, you want that cold. Bell peppers, you could cook them if you wanted to.
Although sometimes you want to be careful, because if you heat some vegetables, they will lose the nutrients that you're trying to get. So raw is better when it comes to vegetables, otherwise you can minimize the effects of the vitamins and minerals.
For the dressing, so that one I just kind of bought at Trader Joe's, a basic balsamic vinaigrette, and then I added a squeeze of lemon in there. But that's pretty much it. You're kind of just throwing it all together. Pretty simple meal. If you are good at preparation, this is a really quick meal.
You can easily make a large amount of this and eat it for the whole week.
Yeah, like even just a half, this started out as a half a cup of quinoa, and it made enough for 3 adults plus extra. So quinoa like really grows.
Yeah.
So you could make a ton of
And you
quinoa.
don't need to eat a lot of quinoa to get good calorie content. You know, it's maybe half cup that you need as your serving size, and that gives you plenty of filling.
What did you think of it? Did you like it?
That meal was amazing. I loved it. The chickpeas were so good, so I can't wait for you guys to get that part of the recipe. But yeah, it was delicious. The whole thing was perfect, nice and fresh, light. I wanted to keep eating, but had to, you know, keep myself somewhat in check from going crazy.
One thing you said that I didn't even think of, when you make the chickpeas, if you make a little bit extra, you could have that as a nice little snack for later.
Yeah, totally. And chickpeas are great for snacks. You can take them on the go, put them in a little baggie, and have it at work or wherever. One thing to kind of mention here is, in an ideal world, you would eat the rainbow and have every vitamin within your entire day. It's pretty difficult to do that realistically, just because the amount of food that you would need to consume would be decent. It can be done, but it takes quite a bit of thought and effort to do that. So that's where a multivitamin can really help you supplement what you aren't getting. There are also many different types of vitamins and minerals that different people need depending on your age, whether you're pregnant or not, if you have some sort of underlying heart condition, just tons of different things. And so that's where talking to your doctor about what you need can be really helpful. But a multivitamin is a good place to start with making sure that you're covering the whole gamut of vitamins and minerals.
Can you do some sort of test at the doctor to see if you're deficient in any vitamins?
Yeah, so typically if you are having an annual physical, you'll be checked for things like potassium, sodium, not necessarily things like vitamin A or vitamin E, but you'll be tested for some. Potassium in particularly, if something is off with that, you would maybe have a heart arrhythmia. And so it's important to keep those things checked occasionally. If you have certain symptoms, then you may be offered a test of a specific vitamin. B12 deficiency can be quite common in people who are vegetarian because you obtain B12 through animal protein. So a lot of times that has to be substituted properly for vegetarian. Hopefully this gave you a little bit of information about particular vitamins you can find in some natural foods. You can head to our website, www.habitmakermama.com, for a more comprehensive list of which vitamins you can find in certain vegetables and food sources. Also, don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel here on YouTube so that you can keep coming back for more tips and stay updated on all the latest info.
Just to feel your arms around me.